Hello everyone, this is Spawnbroker bringing you another first-person gameplay commentary. This time we're going to be talking about Razor. So this is a game that I recorded last night, and I ended up doing very well. And I just wanted to show this game to you guys and basically show you how to use the hero. So first we're going to go over his abilities. So first, his first ability is Plasma Field. It releases a ring that goes outward from the hero, and then it comes back in. And it does magic damage to every unit that it comes across, both going outward and coming back in. And the farther away the unit is from Razor, the more damage the ring is going to do. So this is his primary nuke ability, and it does a lot of damage, as you can see, and it has a pretty large radius. And so this is what you're going to be maxing first on Razor pretty much every time. I've never seen a skill build that doesn't recommend to max Plasma Field. And his second ability is called Static Link. It creates a line, like a line of electricity between him and the hero that you target, and it steals damage from the target and gives it to Razor. And so that's how that works. And then Unstable Current gives him bonus movement speed, and it any abilities that people use on him, he deals damage to them, and it slows the enemy. So that's okay. And then his ultimate is Eye of the Storm, and it basically puts a storm cloud over his head that will deal damage, a small amount of damage, pretty much every half a second to the lowest health unit near Razor. So this is very good for chasing. This is very good for team fighting, and Razor is a carry, so that's how you build him, and that's how you play him. And I'll talk about the items as I go. So let's get started. Okay, so once again, I'm going to be talking about what's going on the screen, and my the cursor is going to be the cursor that I was using in the game. So my initial item choice, I did random this hero, so I have quite a bit of gold to start with. So let's see what I end up getting. I think I was waiting for the rest of my teammates to finish picking. Just a quick note, as you can see, the enemy team is full of carries. We actually noticed this, and we decided to pick accordingly. So we ended up going for a sort of a pushing, ganking team composition, and it ended up working out fairly well for us. Okay, so I end up getting a Ring of Protection. I end up getting a Tango, a Healing Salve, and 2 Slippers of Agility, and an Iron Branch. I was considering finishing my Ring of Basilius, but Ring of Basilius is 500 gold, and it's quite expensive for giving you no stats. It just gives you damage and mana regen. So I'm going top with Shadow Shaman, and he is a friend of mine, and he knows how to play. He actually knows how to play support, so he will be giving me most of the farm in the lane. I decided not to creep block because there's really no point on the top lane, and if the enemies decide to creep block on the Dire side, then your creeps will go in range of their tower, which will push your lane further toward your tower, so that's good. So we're up against an anti-mage and a Pugna. And I believe the anti-mage randomed, so he had some pretty good items to start. There's me missing my last hit. Awesome.
Blocked.
As you can see, Razor's attack animation is actually very good. It's very quick. The only problem is Razor's auto attack damage is kind of low. So you end up having to hit the creeps later than you would normally have to. Pick up my Ring of Basilius. I remember to turn it off. So Ring of Basilius has an aura that increases the armor for everyone near you. and it also increases mana regen for everyone near you. But you can make it affect creeps or not. So if the ring is on, it is affecting your creeps. If it's off, it's not. It still affects heroes no matter what. So you want it to turn it off in the early laning phase because you don't want your creeps to have extra armor. So here, me and Shadow Shaman decide we're going to interrupt this pull, and there was me throwing off a plasma field just to scare Pugna away. And I told Shadow Shaman, you know, if you can grab any
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Neutral creep kills, that's a win for us. So here, Pugna makes a huge mistake, and Pugna ends up giving me first blood.
And the atmosphere's electric.
So that right there was Pugna not realizing how much damage Razor can put out with his plasma field, even at early levels. I decided to pop myself to get my hit points back. So I was considering getting boots, but I decided to go for a Ring of Regen because I'm going to be building a Vanguard. So you might be asking, okay, why am I building a Vanguard on an agility carry? Well, if you think about it, Razor's not really an attack damage, auto-attacking carry like Anti-Mage is. He does a lot of damage just by being alive in team fights. All of his abilities and all of his abilities are pretty much focused around him being there and being focused in team fights and being around. So Vanguard is what allows him to do that pretty effectively. So you want more hit points, it gives you damage block, it gives you health regen. It's pretty much just an all-around good item for Razor. So I always rush a Vanguard after I get my Basilius. Okay, I pick up a point in Unstable Current. That's just to that's just the 1 point for now. I'm actually going to be maxing Static Link after I max Plasma Field. So here I'm just harassing because I know I'll just regen it back up with my Ring of Regen. At this point, I'm pretty confident. Things are going pretty well. And I believe this is when I told my friend, if you can catch Pugna in a stun or a shackle, then go ahead and do it. Because we will be able to kill him before Anti-Mage can do anything. Just because we have more damage. And part of laning in Dota is knowing when you have the advantage in the lane. So knowing that Anti-Mage isn't going to be able to do a lot of damage to you, that's pretty important. So you know, just knowing that you can pick the support in the lane and just kill them without the enemy carry being able to do anything about it is a pretty important thing that comes with time. It's just something that you end up learning how to do. So here we saw that they were pulling to the small creep camp, so we just decided to get a little bit of extra experience and gold. Pugna puts down his ward. I decide to go kill the ward because the ward drains mana and it also deals damage to you based on any mana that you use near the ward. So it's pretty important to get rid of those. So as you can see, I'm doing very well on last hits. And I've pretty much been able to bully them around in the lane a lot. As well as miss some last hits. There is Shadow Shaman putting down some harass. at this point, I'm just like, screw it. I have extra mana. I have a Basilius. I haven't used my mana in a while. Why not? Here, Shadow Shaman wanted to go on that creep camp that they were pulling, but I told him to wait because I was going to grab my Vitality booster. I told him if he could get any neutral creep kills from Ether Shock, go ahead and do it. I don't know if he actually was able to or not.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Haste.
So now that I have my Vitality booster, I am super tanky, so there's pretty much nothing they can do to me that would make me scared in this lane. And here,
Dire's middle tower is
Riki
under
decides to try and come kill me and gets a face full of lightning.
I will see you in the understate.
I really don't know what that Riki was thinking. And there, Pugna didn't realize I had so many hit points, and he thought he could kill me before we got him. So now I'm level 6, I pick up my ultimate. Things have been going very well. Zebras gives me his salve, because he didn't need it. Okay, here I make kind of a mistake. I buy a Stout Shield, and then I thought I had my Vanguard finished. I had no idea that I had built a poor man's shield, and I was kind of confused when I looked in my inventory later and I found out I didn't actually have a Vanguard. So that was a mistake on my part. I should have dropped one of the slippers before I bought the shield, but and I actually tried to disassemble it, but I couldn't. So I don't know if you can disassemble the poor man's shield or not. That was a mistake on my part. This is a pause. Let's go ahead and speed this up a bit. I remember it being a rather long pause. Whoops. Shopping. I seem to be confused about what my what my abilities do. Jeez, this was a really long pause. Okay, here we go. So I figured out what was wrong with my items, and I go and buy a Vanguard. So that was 250 gold wasted. So now my next purchase is going to be Power Treads, because he likes to auto attack.
Nothing for you.
Just getting anti-mage a little bit down here. Not much going on, just some farming. They're trying to pull the lane again, and I just decided to go on them. And here I make a pretty huge mistake. I get blocked by the trees or something, and anti-mage almost gets away. So that was a big mistake by me. I activate my ultimate and I start chasing Pugna, and he goes down pretty quickly. So that was a big mistake by me. I'm not sure really what happened there. I was clicking anti-mage, but it wasn't allowing me... Like, the pathing was just taking me between the trees. It was kind of weird.
Is under attack.
And
Dire's
I am
structures are
getting rid of tower
fortified.
aggro by A-clicking my creeps. It's a pretty good way to
Dire's top
continue
tower
being
is
in
under
tower
attack.
range without actually having to leave and stop auto-attacking. So see, I do it again. This is not an exploit, this is actually
Dire's
built
top
into
tower is under
Dota,
attack.
and this is built into the logic of the towers. It's just something that you need to know. And here, I wait for anti-mage to
Dire's
try and
top
deny it,
tower has fallen.
and it ends up getting killed by our creeps. So that was a win for us. If I had tried to hit the tower, anti-mage would have been able to get the deny, and we would not have gotten the gold. So as much as I would like to have the extra gold for last hitting the tower, I was more worried about the deny. So here, at this point, I can just bully both of them. It just doesn't matter. I have so much hit points and I'm so far ahead, I can just solo them. See?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So I decide to keep staying in lane and push the top lane some more, because they haven't sent anybody after me except for that
Dire's
one
middle tower is under
attempt
attack.
from Riki to kill me. So I figure until they do, I'm just going to continue pressuring the top lane. And as you can see, I'm pinging the top tower. They're also going mid to push middle tower, so creating more pressure on the map. This is what a pushing team composition tends to do. You either push as 5, or you split push multiple lanes and make it
Dire's
very
top tower
hard
is
for the
under
enemy
attack.
to do anything besides defend a lane. Because you don't want the enemy heroes to start farming. That's the one thing you don't want them to do, because as you can see, they have 4 carries. So if we let them farm, they will win the game. So my team is doing fine without me, so I'm going to continue pressuring the top lane. Bane goes on a killing spree.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
And here I see anti-mage being chased. And I thought he was going to go up there, and I misjudged how far he would be, and he turned around, so I did not end up getting that kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I finished my power treads. I think I missed that. The next item that I'm going to want to pick up is a Yasha. The reason why you like Yasha on
Dire's
Razor
middle tower is
is
under
because it gives him extra movement speed. And since he already gets movement speed from one of his abilities, Yasha makes that even better.
Dire's
So he
top
becomes
tower
even
is
faster
under
and
attack.
even more of a pain in the butt to deal with. So that's why you get Yasha. And that's what I will be working on next. I decided to steal some jungle creeps. I do like one of the things they just added. The combine symbol from Half-Life 2 is on the recipe for is on all the recipes. So here, Phantom Assassin gets a little bit out of position. I activate my ultimate, and I just start going to town on people. And we end up getting 3 for 0. And here I'm telling my team to push mid and bottom at the same time. Since we're so far ahead, they can't really stop us.
My reach exceeds my grasp.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Here, once again, you see me doing the tower trick.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Kept telling Enigma to go after that tower. I don't know why he didn't.
Dire's bottom
Oh,
tower
I think the
is
creeps
under
just
attack.
got there. Okay. As you can see, Plasma Field is also very good at pushing at max level. It just gets creeps down very quickly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I ended up picking up a magic wand. It's usually always a good idea to pick up a magic wand, pretty much whenever you have the money. It is a fantastic item. It's one of the most efficient items in the game, and it gives you great burst hit point and mana regen. It's just fantastic. Here I pick up another kill because Enigma managed to get a stun off. So yeah, magic wand is fantastic. Always try and get one if you can. The best part is it builds out of ironwood branches. So since you almost always have ironwood branches in your inventory early game,
Radiant's top tower
you
is under
will
attack.
already have part of it. So my team started to leave, and I told them, no, just stay. Here Weaver is trying to kill our Shadow Shaman.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's
And here he makes a mistake and he becomes uninvisible. And then Anti-Mage tries to come in. And at this point I tell Shadow Shaman to back off. And I'm like, okay, we can probably leave. So I port back to base.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I turn my Ring of Basilius into a Ring of Aquila. All you have to do that is just to grab a Wraith Band, and it turns into the Ring of Aquila. Ring of Aquila does pretty much the same thing, it just has better stats. And then I grab a Yasha.
Dire's
Now
bottom
Yasha,
tower
as I
is
said,
under
it gives
attack.
Razor movement speed, it gives him agility, and it builds into Manta style, or it also builds into Sanjin Yasha if you want to go that route. I don't usually recommend Sanjin Yasha because it is one of the most inefficient items in the game for how much it is. But if you're an agility carry who wants some tank, then Sanjin Yasha is okay. Basically, if you want the Yasha but you don't necessarily want a Manta style, then Sanjin Yasha is good. I don't actually know any heroes that would not want a Manta style, so Manta style is a fantastic item. We'll go into why in a second. So here I'm pressuring the lane while getting farm at the same time. And I see them pushing bottom, and I decide to port to defend this tower. And they don't seem to have learned their lesson. He ended up trying to cast a spell on me, and he died because of it, because of my passive. I pop my wand, chasing Anti-Mage, and he ports away. When I popped my wand, I was hoping to be able to get enough mana for my nuke, but I was unable to. And here we're going to pressure bottom some more. So this is kind of the textbook example of why you shouldn't pick 5 carries, basically. Because if a team knows what they're doing, and they see you picking so many carries, they will abuse the fact that you pick so many carries. They will just abuse you for it. So here we notice that Pugna has dropped his ward there, so we get rid of it. Vayne does a fantastic job getting Anti-Mage with his ultimate right after Nightmare ends.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Here, Anti-Mage is lamenting that they all picked carries.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under
Pugna trying to start something. Fantastic black hole by Enigma. I activate my ultimate and I'm just sitting there wailing away on people. Nice dust. here, Weaver tries to attack me in his fountain
Can't escape
and is unable to.
underscape.
I end up finishing my Manta style. Manta style is very good in a pushing team comp because the illusions that you can make are very good at pushing, just hands down. I recommend Manta style on pretty much any agility carry
Dire's top tower
because
is under
it is
attack.
very good at... It gives you a lot of agility, it gives you movement speed, it gives you illusions that you can make to confuse people. You can also avoid certain spells with it. It's very nice. This is just me picking up some farm in the middle.
Invisibility.
And here we decide to go top, because that is the last place that has a tower, and you always want to try to get down as many outer towers as you can before you push into the base. So here I activate my ultimate first, before I go in, because my ultimate does quite a bit of damage. I notice Enigma in a little bit of trouble with Anti-Mage. I go down there, then I realize the tower is very low, so I hit that
Dire's
down,
top tower has fallen.
and I see Bane doing this.
We have failed the win.
Zap your ass.
And here we're just going to push in and win, because we're so far ahead that there's really no point not to. Pugna gets out of position, doesn't realize how fast I am and how tanky I am, that I can just ignore towers, so a little bit of a mistake on his part.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
So as you can see, me and my illusions are doing quite a bit of damage to the tower. I believe the illusions do 60%
Dire's
damage?
middle
Let me
tower
check.
is under attack.
28% damage. So, not quite as much as I thought, but they're still very good at pushing. This was an all-pick game. This was not a single draft or random draft or anything like that.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I was considering buying something with my gold, but
Dire's
it
middle
wouldn't have mattered
barracks are under-
anyways.
Dire's
The
middle
game's over.
barracks has fallen.
They didn't get down a single tower.
Dire's middle barracks has
And
fallen.
we've taken
The
all their
Radiant
Rexes.
now have mega creeps.
Okay, so I think this was a pretty good example of how to effectively play Razor and how to take advantage of your enemy's mistakes in lane. Razor is a very strong laner. He's a good bully in the lane if he has a good support to back him up. So I think this is a fairly good example of, of what you can do to take advantage of people in the lane and how you can snowball that into the mid game. So this is going to be a 25-minute victory, it looks like, which is pretty fast. But that's mainly because, like I said, the enemy team has all carries, and they were unable to do anything about our pushing.
To the narrow maze
Dire's
with you.
middle tower has fallen.
All right, so I feel like this showcased Razor and his abilities fairly well. So
Dire's ancient
let
is
me know
under attack.
if you'd like to see any other specific heroes or anything like that, and I will see you guys next time. And I guess we'll
Dire's
just watch
ancient
the end of the
is
game now.
under attack. Radiant
I'll leave the scoreboard up for you guys at the end. Poor buff bananas. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And subscribe and like my videos.